This episode, the value of assortment packs. Have you ever been working on a project and realized you had not properly planned for your material needs, but you had the assortment pack, and lo and behold, the day was saved? Well, in this episode, John and I decided we would discuss the assortment packs, what you need, what you might consider, but the true value of having some assortment packs on hand. Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation on your home maintenance and repair. This edition is entitled The Value of Assortment Packs. And to help me explain, I am here with my old buddy, Johnny. Johnny, did you like that? I'm varying up the words. My old buddy, John. Johnny.
Welcome. Welcome. Here we are on another episode of the Handyman Pros Radio Show.
Brought to you live from Folsom State Prison. No,
right.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
Where both John and I are inmates. No.
Right. Yeah, I love
That's
the stainless.
Atlanta. That's
I love
actually
the
the
stainless
Atlanta
steel all in one sink and toilet. So there's a lot to be said. Yeah. So Larry, I was saying that the other day I was working on speaking of toilets, I was working on a toilet,
and
you just never know what you're going to run into, even though you've done it time and time again. And I will tell you that the biggest pain in the butt about the whole thing is the shutoff valves.
Oh yeah,
shutting off the water, if they even shut off.
If they work, right? Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Well, because there's a reason for that, right? As everybody knows, how many times do you turn your toilet shut-off valve? Never.
Never. And that goes for your whole, most people for their whole house too.
Right.
Your water shut off in your house, whether it's in your basement, crawl space, whatever it is. It's not a bad thing to keep that thing exercised a little bit, or change it out to a ball valve if you can.
Right.
I've got a neighbor that's just can't really even close off his water to his house on the main thing because it won't close anymore.
Ooh, not good. Anyway, not the purpose of this conversation.
Yeah, not the purpose of this, but the purpose of this is just really the efficiency. If you're a homeowner or a handyman, of just having something at hand when you need it. And it's not that you do this as a professional, let's say a plumber, where you've got a jillion gaskets and washers and things. But my experience was I just happen to have with me in my little plumbing kit that I carry around an assortment pack of washers. And I ran across that valve on the floor that wouldn't shut off, and we did get the water to shut off, the main shut off, and I fixed that valve, and I had the washer. So without removing that whole valve, that washer was in there for 30 years and just split down the middle of it. And I just replaced the washer, put it all back together, and boom, we're back in business. Which means, baby. And the value was, I didn't have to get up, go back out to the truck, go to the store, anything. I had it right there in those little packs, and I couldn't believe it. It was like 12. I mean, honestly, $12 for, I think, a little pack. And it's got most of the washers that are common, if you want to call it that, in these faucets and things like that.
Yep.
So it really saved me a lot of time. And from a homeowner's perspective,
saves them a lot of money.
It saves them a lot of money. Absolutely. So I don't know, Larry, if you do it. I mean, I make my own little packs like that too.
So, I basically, when we decided to talk about this topic, there's three areas for me that are big. Number one is plumbing, and it seems I don't care how many assortment packs I put together. I never have what I need, ever. So plumbing, but there are those, like you're talking about, washers and O-rings and stuff. I buy the assortment packs of those because it is one of those things that's like when you need the stupid thing, and it's like what's a washer cost? Like, I mean, a rubber washer, a rubber gasket costs like, it's less than $1 usually. And it's like, I hate driving to the store for less than $1, but the stupid thing doesn't work without it, right? To that
Yep.
point. So you kind of gotta have it. So it's sort of one of those things where, and having that assortment, because how many folks, question, have you ever gone to the thing saying, man, I got it, it's right here in my head, I'll never forget what size that is, and then you get there and realize they're built in 16ths of an inch incremental, they're incrementals at a 16th of an inch, which by the way you cannot determine by your eye, so you end up buying an assortment pack anyway because you got
Yep.
to find
Or
just
yeah,
the
or
right
a
one.
bunch of different washers.
Whatever, same thing.
Yeah, I
But
mean it's a hassle.
it's a hassle. And of course, I have experienced going and getting the wrong thing and then having to go back to get the
Oh
right,
yeah.
oh my God, drive me up the wall. So plumbing's my number one. I don't hate doing plumbing, but I hate, John and I were talking about this before the show. Plumbing has no standardization. I'm convinced, absolutely none. No, they're just none.
It
Hey,
seemed
man,
like
we're
it.
going to do this year. Okay, good. Whatever. I give up. Anyway, I broke it into 3 areas. It was plumbing, electrical, and then fasteners also. Because fasteners are, so I buy assortment packs for fasteners and make assortment packs for fasteners all the time. So when we talk about that, we're talking about stuff like just nuts, bolts, nails, screws, all that kind of stuff. I mean, basically everything, because don't forget there's metric and there's standard and there's Whitworth and there's other things, that, oh, yeah, right.
Yep.
But it's just helpful to have assortment packs on these various things. And Johnny, what are your things? I mean, what are the things that get you the most?
Well, you go. I'll just go back and make the statement that if I know that I'm doing a deck, then I'm going to bring a whole thing of screws with me. Okay, that enough said there. But if
Right.
I always run across one or two things that I need maybe a drywall screw. I need a certain fastener to hang a picture. I always keep just a little bit of that kind of stuff in my tool bag. You
Yes.
know,
And I
because
do the same
just
thing.
it's not that I'm using like 10 of them or something. I just maybe need like 2 of them, but I've got them and it saves me this trip. It's just much more efficient from that standpoint because you just never know what you're going to go get into, and I've got a couple of each of these things in there. Um
And that's just trips back to the truck.
and
But a
that's
trip, but but
exactly.
but a trip back to the truck, especially if it's downstairs,
Yeah, you got to
it gets kind
yeah.
of old,
Yeah, right.
after a while.
Right. Right.
So,
So,
and it's funny you say that because I do exactly the same thing. I have a couple of short drywall screws, a couple of long drywall screws, some 3-inch construction screws. I usually carry one or two of those
yep.
because it's like you say, you're sitting there, you're doing something, and you just need one or two. If you need more than two or maybe three, now you can go out to the truck, and because if you're gonna need
Right.
three, you're gonna need 15, right? So then you go get the container that's full of them.
Exactly.
But it's just those one, or you're doing something and you're like, man, if I just had this,
Exa-
zing, done, you fix it, it's good. And I find that with between I carry in my bag, I carry electrical, like I always have a couple of wire nuts, because it's the same thing with electrical. It's like you come on and either a wire nut's missing or it's loose, and the old one it just needs to be replaced, so you just replace it because you got it sitting there with you, or you have the wrong size and you have the right size in your tool bag. I always carry like two or three different, and I don't carry the big ones, but I always carry two or three of the, I carry the small ones and the medium sized ones. And yeah, it's just a huge time. It's a time saver. It just makes your life easier. Johnny, are we
yeah.
getting lazy? Is that what it is? Are we getting lazy?
Well, I think it gets to the point where you just want to do the job. You want to do it right, of course. But I don't want to spend all my time getting up and up and down stairs and
Yeah.
out to
Oh,
the truck
absolutely.
and looking
Yeah.
for and wasting all that time, because honestly it's not fair to the customer that paying me running around looking for stuff when I should know better. When I have a couple of each of these things in my bag.
Right.
Once
Right.
again, if it's one or two, I got it. Um,
Now,
and that go
cautionary tale here. cautionary tale. When you drive around, as John affectionately calls my truck, the rolling Home Depot store, you do have to
You should
have an
just paint that thing orange.
you do have to have an organizational system in your truck so that you know where your stuff
Right.
is.
And that was
So
a whole nother episode.
we did a show on that. We've done a show on that.
But
We don't,
you
but
know,
you do have to have some kind of a system. So,
and the other thing is that I always, somebody will say, hey, can you hang? It's always, can you hang a picture for me? That on this, that I might be there to do a faucet or something, and then it's like, hey, can you hang a picture? And
yep.
sure, I've got the, just about maybe 3 different sizes of wall fasteners, and
Right there
I
in your
got it.
bag.
I'm right there. It's like, hey, I don't even have to leave this place. I got them right here. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's stuff like that,
And
but
these are as applicable to you as a homeowner as well.
exactly.
So if you're a homeowner, don't you, I mean, there's certain things you can buy in quantity, like, I don't know, it just depends what you like to do. But there's certain things you can buy in quantity, but in general, most homeowners get by just fine with assortment packs, particularly
Yeah,
like picture hangers, because they make great picture hanger. I love picture hanger assortment packs because each picture is different. And sometimes you need a big one. Sometimes you need a small one. Sometimes you need,
exactly right.
and everything in between. And I don't want to try to carry all of that stuff, but they come in those they're kind of like little clear plastic fishing boxes. I love them. You can get, there's 62 different kinds in there, and there's 4 or 5 of each one. It's great. It's perfect. It's absolutely ideal for either a homeowner or for the handyman. Either way, it's just absolutely perfect. Anyway, that there's those nails and screws. I collect nails and screws, and so it's like, but in my bag, I always carry drywall screws. I carry some hinge screws. The 3/4 inch. What do they call them? Cone, the cone head shaped screws, and so forth and so on. So yeah. Anyway, what
So
else?
I think that's I just wanted to put that out there because from a time saving perspective, I want to share that out with everybody. So
Yeah, and seek them out too because they're out there. They're in the big box stores. They're online. They're all over the place, and you can get great assortment packs for almost anything anymore because it's wonderful.
yeah,
And so don't buy big packs. Johnny, the last time the spaceship, you were looking for a specific screw. It was some goofy alien thread. Did you have one of those in your assortment pack?
no, but I did have the comment that the guy was like, Larry collects screws and nails, and most people collect like coins and stamps.
Thanks, buddy.
Weirdo.
Yeah, well, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, folks, that signifies that our show is once again coming to a close. I won't say coming to an end because we're not ending it, just coming to a close. If you do enjoy the Handyman Pros Radio Show, please tell your friends and neighbors. Send them a link if you like this craziness. We really appreciate it. Questions, comments, concerns, send us an email, questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. We're on Facebook as well at Handyman Pros. What else do we do, Johnny? Oh yeah, we've got a newsletter that you can sign up for at handymanprosradioshow.com too. So all of those things. We appreciate you listening. We'll see you next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.